we're going to have NaVi versus ferzee, and our draft is already underway. I have to say, Kevin, I was going through replays, trying to study for this tournament and stuff, and I like how you just throw that out there. You do, not me.
Just letting you know,
I do that
you're
shit.
by yourself here. I know Dota. I do not watch that much pro Dota.
All right, well, I will set this up and say I don't think NaVi is going to win. I think ferzee actually looks pretty good.
Well, I was basing all of my guess on the fact that I recognize more names on NaVi, and they have a much cooler banner. What is this chess piece? The queen? That is the piece they picked? Okay, yeah, it's strong. I don't know much about chess. I don't know how deep I'm going to go into this analogy. But it's cut off at the top. It's an incomplete queen. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Oh, we have giant chess pieces.
For
hit me up, Rob.
Do you have the queen?
But we don't have. But we have the king, though.
The fuck are these made?
We have.
These are actually
this
ceramic.
is not a matriarchal society. We've got the king.
Who spent? All right. I'd first like to point out they bought these at Goodwill for $4 each. I don't know. Was that one $4? The original sticker is still on here. Yeah, change the camera. $22.99. This was originally $22.99. Somebody bought this for somebody. They're like, no. They took it to Goodwill, and then it was repurchased for $4. Good for the original people that sold this.
You got it for $1 a piece too.
It's made in China also.
I thought you would appreciate the value there, Kevin, of them being able to get these chess pieces for a quarter.
Maybe this is too much. You know, if this was on the Steam
paint job
marketplace,
isn't great.
I'm not confident it would be $4.99. Yeah, it's a little cheap. It's not fantastic. The Dota game though,
yes.
NaVi qualified for the minor if I'm not mistaken, so they are doing moderately well, I think.
Yeah.
I can check that. I was busy observing, so I couldn't do as much on-cast research as I normally do.
What was the opening series? I actually did not look that up.
It was Alliance pooping on Team Spirit.
Oh, yeah. Alliance looks pretty good. I'm a little bit surprised Team Spirit lost so hard, though, because I thought Team Spirit looked okay.
Alliance is just, they seem really good. They're really good at coordinating crazy amounts of, like, disables into arrows and, like, interesting ways. And Game 2 is cool. They did a CK... Phoenix offlane. They picked Phoenix round 1, like first 2. Then they picked CK third pick. Like that was their opening, like the equivalent of this Ursa. And then they were against the TB, and they just like stun and fire spirits him every time they could.
Was there CK support?
He was a core.
Oh,
and then the TB had to salve to stay alive to not feed first blood, I think. And then he was like low HP, and he was kind of zoned. And basically every time he came up, Chaos Bolt into Fire Spirits like 3 times, and he couldn't trade because his attack speed's reduced, and he's fucking TB. So it's like they just did magic damage and lowered his attack speed and beat the shit out of him. And then once in a while CK would die, TP's back in the lane, full HP, bought more bracers. Just went like Treads, triple bracer, Orb of Venom, just cast spells, maxed his stun pretty early, got like 3 points early. So
that's interesting because I watched the game, and I'm pretty sure it was Alliance, and they ran Chaos Knight, and I thought it was a Chaos Knight support for that game. So
maybe they're flexible.
That'd be really interesting if they had that kind of like just straight up flexibility with a already unusual hero, and then just being able to run it.
I was talking to a friend about unusual supports yesterday because I think he said that Eternal Envy was playing Legion support in a pub or something.
Oh, yeah.
And my idea was that based on the way the patches have gone, because there's just been little nerfs to top heroes, that now like the best supports that exist aren't so substantially better than the other heroes that like these weird ass heroes can become more viable now. Where it's like, oh, the top of the mountain has been cut off, or dare I say the summit, cut off the tip of the summit, and the other competing mountains in the area. Can actually look kind of feasible, especially like those like heroes like CK that could be a core, could be a support. So maybe some of the reason for that.
That's right. It was one of the matches that I believe didn't matter, but it still looked like they played like relatively serious. But they ran Chaos Knight Wyvern support.
Okay.
And they had Tinker, Storm, and Lina cores.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be a Lina support, and then all of a sudden. And I have seen other people experiment with various cores as supports.
Okay.
Try this one out, Kevin. What do you think about a Slark support?
All right. Fucking awful. I remember. I think I casted. What was it? All right. We were at DAC 2. I was casting with PPD when we casted the show match, and whoever designed the tournament had the stupid fucking idea to. Am I allowed to swear? I'm gonna say the stupid fucking idea to do a reverse captain's draft show match. That mode. The purpose of the game mode is to pick your opponent's heroes that don't work well.
Yeah.
And then you're supposed to watch two teams that don't work well play each other. It's fucking awful. It's a terrible show match idea. So naturally, I was arguing with PPD about which support would be better, anti-mage or Slark. And at the time, I was like, I think Slark would be better because Pounce Leash, it's more utility. I was fucking wrong. AM support, way better. You get like an Orb of Venom, you can actually do something. Slark support, where do you go after that? You're like, guys, I cannot die for 4 seconds if they don't have a regular amount of AoE. It's like, what do? You don't do anything. It's useless.
I will just say, Z-Freak has been playing it in pubs, and I asked him about it, and he thinks it's legit.
Okay.
I don't know how serious he's being in that regard, but
the only thing that I think is probably good about it is Essence Shift trading against heroes early on, because then at least you're getting huge damage bonus, you're taking their stats, you're dealing a lot of damage, and then you get like 1 dark pack, so you're removing stuns. So then your trades against the right heroes, like 1 point of dark pack's amazing. Like against Ignite or some shit, boom, you lose like 40 HP and they lose their spell. That's a good trade.
I think part of his idea as well was to be able to, so he would dark pack cut creep waves, and the enemy would have like no wards on the map as well. So he would just play this like really sort of like ratty style with the support. That makes a lot of sense. It was really weird, but it was kind of cool.
Because if he's cutting creep waves, all right, makes sense. He's affecting the map. Because he basically can't fight is the normal problem. But if he spots every ward, which he should be able to with his ulti, and he's got time to spend to do it, to make sure he's getting all the D wards, okay, that kind of makes sense. You just got to make the laning stage work, I guess, and get the first levels, and then I could see it sort of working. Okay, that makes sense.
All right, back to our draft here. We've got Rubik Enigma now for NaVi up against the Ursa Axe that was picked up by ferzee. So I feel like ferzee has like a pretty normal draft for this meta right now with the early Weaver pickup. Ursa and Axe have been pretty value cores. NaVi trying to counter all that with the Enigma is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, they kind of want lockdown anyways for Weaver, so that's like some way to get a solution. Also, you kind of want a ranged offlaner against Ursa anyways, because you don't want him to get, at least for hits, he doesn't have good AoE. Urshock's been nerfed, so even killing Eidolons is not going to be simple for him.
Yeah.
So I guess Enigma versus Ursa sounds like a really good way to like minimum trade well in that lane and potentially win the lane there. But really not that much carry potential on their side. But and nor much disable. It's going to be a little hard to Sunstrike, but between like Enigma and Chen in the offlane, they should be able to bully their opponents. Even like a Phoenix. Like Phoenix is not going to do well at all. Low armor. Every time he casts a spell, he loses health. They've got no creeps to frontline for him. It's just Ursa. So I feel like Enigma Chen should be able to bully Phoenix if he's there. I don't know how well Rubik Bloodseeker is going to fare. Do you play Rubik support that often? I know we saw it at TI, 1 TI, whatever, but it was like not picked often.
I really like it whenever there's a Weaver on the enemy team. So I think that's pretty much the only reason. What are the chances it's an Ursa support?
You have this is
it on the money? Is it an Ursa support?
That would I don't even know if that'd be good. I don't know enough about ferzee.
No.
They do actually have. There's a potential. Is that a queen on both sides?
King R is the offlaner.
So that tells me literally nothing. We'll find out. So the back of their flag, by the way, has a black chess piece. Believe it or not, it's just another team that does not understand how flags work. Someday, the average team is going to know. At least they did the work though. They put both on there, so I know it's there. You know.
So they know about flags.
Well, you know, we're probably going to see that because the production so far has been really into these like crazy shots from weird angles. There's a damn good chance you're going to see a black chess piece. Keep an eye out for it, guys. You might just see it.
Kevin, you are spicy in the morning, early in the morning. I like it. You
when you throw me in some like not tier 1 Dota, I don't even know how many people are watching. I'm just going to have a good time. Going to talk about Dota. I love talking about Dota. You love talking about Dota.
I love talking about Dota.
I like watching Dota. Let's talk. Let's have a good time. That's why you're here.
I love that. So Daxic, pretty sure Afterlife plays their off lane. King R and Afo are both core players as well. So I'm pretty sure this is support Ursa.
I've heard support Axe has been, when I talked to my friend about weird supports, he said support Axe has been getting kind of popular too. That Jubei played it apparently in the game that they won. He said like super late Blink Dagger, like 40 minutes. And I assume they just do like Battle Hunger zoning with like occasional maybe creep cutting.
Yeah.
I mean, having a 10-second stun or call at least is definitely pretty valuable. Plus goes through BKB. I mean, that's arguably really powerful as a support. You're underfarmed, they pop BKB because they're beating you. Who gives a shit? You can still stun them. That's cool.
I think I've seen a lot of the Ursa support in NA pubs anyway, and I think this is again. I think it might have been started by Z Freak like a good month or two ago, and you're just like running around because Thunderclap is such a powerful slow early on.
That's true.
And then the zoning potential as well of just
It's got a
having
stout
such
shield.
this tanky hero.
Does anyone sneak a peek of that black chess piece? I can see it right now. It's right on the screen. It's interesting. Okay, anyways, he queued up a Quelling Blade, so I'm going to assume that he's hitting creeps. I wouldn't do it this game anyways. Against Bloodseeker, fantastic, right? But again, any of the other, there's too many range heroes. There's no way this is the game to do it. So Axe also has a lot of regen. So nope, not Lina. Weavers? How many supports do these guys got? Do they have any? What's going on? Is this it must be Weaver support, right? He's got a ward and a sentry.
It's Weaver support.
He's got a Fairy Fire. He's got a Blightstone. It's back.
Okay, Daxic played a mid silencer. That's why I got confused.
It's kind of cool. All right, so Smoke to place the ward down. He might get spotted by Chen though. No, okay, he barely gets out in time with the smoke. Scared he would. They'll get a D ward out of that. That's pretty nice.
Okay, so Swarm I think is one of the most obnoxious spells in the game in general.
For sure.
So I think if you actually get early levels of the Swarm, like maybe not over Shikuchi, but just in general, like you go a 4-4-1 sort of build on a support Weaver, I could see that working.
Oh, Robbie. Oh wait, I'm not the observer. Okay, never mind. I thought it was. But you still max Shikuchi first, surely, right?
Yeah. I think you still match Shikuchi. I think you go sort of like a 1-4-1 build to start, but then Swarm being maxed out later. Because in team fights, just being able to get like a good Swarm in can really make or break a team fight, right? Because you either have to kill the bug or you have a bunch of minus armor on you and you're taking damage. It's a lose-lose situation for the enemy team.
Especially for a lot of their heroes, they're not super they can't really super defend themselves. Axe going to try to trade here for the bounty ring. He fails. Failure. 2 for 2, though they'll both get 2, so not a big loss for him.
I see what you're talking about the difference in the time now. All right.
Yeah, that's right.
I can't look at my screen. I gotta look at this.
Just block this out. 2 for 2 bounty runes. There's no way I could have predicted that.
Great
if I
job,
wasn't
Kevin.
so good at Dota. Have I told you that I'm barely a mortal level Dota player?
Hey, but you're immortal.
That's true. Never let that go.
All right, so we're gonna have the they dodged, so they won't have the Bloodseeker against the Ursa, which is exactly what NaVi wants, right? They want the Enigma against that Ursa if possible. Though Axe is gonna be able to do pretty all right in this lane as well, I think.
Cap, is it normal for spectators to want the CS score to be pulled up? Is that a normal thing?
I think you're asking a little too much.
Okay,
Kevin.
you're probably right.
I think you're asking for too much here.
Oh.
Maybe PGG. Someone let PGG know.
I doubt
he can complain to the observer.
All right, I know he's got 1 drink on his desk, but I know for a fact that guy's got a 2nd drink under the table. There's no way he's observing right now.
No, I'm not saying
Only
he's
got 2
observing.
hands.
I'm saying he can complain to the observer.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to see drunken PGG observing. I remember meeting that guy on a flight to TI, and the first thing he said to me was like, "Drink? We drink."
Okay.
Blizzy?
It never stops.
It's going to be Dove here underneath the tower. Eidolons were blocking a little bit for him. Nice little juke through the trees there. Eats his way out, and he does have Snako on the way, so he's actually going to turn and fight a little bit underneath this tower.
That was okay. I mean, all you need to do is buy, basically 5-6 seconds, and then most of the creep wave is dead. By that point, they're going to back. I definitely noticed the Fury Swipe nerf at level 1. Definitely a lot worse. I think it's like 7, 12, something like that. Oh, I am in a computer. I can check. It is 12. Yeah. It used to be 15. I guess it's not as significant. Maybe just overstating that a little caster hype. My bad.
King R, the support Weaver, is going to be headed down to this bottom lane soon. Kevin. I'm predicting the future.
One cool thing about support Weaver, though, really easy to get bounty runes. Really easy to get the regular runes and turn them into something. You can grab a DD. I don't know what else you're going to... The other ones don't really matter that much, I guess. But just that extra mobility is probably pretty nice. I mean, he has really bad base int. Not a very smart bug. It kind of looks like that purple thing on his head is just a giant-ass brain. It's not.
He's stupid.
Speaking of Weaver,
I see something in the future. Maybe bottom lane. We're going to have some sort of fight where someone could die. It's going to be Chu. There is King R heading for the kill. We'll be able to pick up your first blood.
You see that axe? He's like, I'm gonna battle hunger steal this one. No,
he tried.
It was fine. Like he was low enough where there was a chance the Weaver didn't get in attack range there.
And they didn't take too much damage, so Crystallize doesn't have like that big boost just yet anyway. But when Chu comes back, that may be a different story.
Ooh, he's looking scary fast, dude. His little glowing red hands.
Blood Rage. All right, he's just going to go for Afterlife a little bit. His
definitely
observer's
the
going to check
worst.
out Van's core. Well, that
Literally.
is the reason. Part of the reason Bloodseeker's running so fast right now is Afterlife's going to be chased down by Crystallize pretty easily. King R, who does not have Shikuchi up right now, apparently, is going to get low enough that he's still going to be spotted even if he does get it out. So Crystallize picks up that double kill. We got Van's core. He's got to be a little bit more careful with his HP.
Yeah, that was a really sick kill. On the axe at least. Just good rotation. They pull around. Tons of damage from Bloodseeker. From all those low heroes. Oh, I can hear. Beautiful. That was the crunchiest tree I've ever heard eaten in a Dota game. King
Sounds
Arch
like breakfast.
trying to get on the map a little bit here. It does pick up Geminate, which I think is probably fine. Just a lot of mana cost to cast. It's like 100. That's most of his mana pool. He needs that for Sakuchi.
Yeah, for the initial swarm. Yeah, I would agree. So Vanscore's going to be hanging out in this bottom lane. It kind of makes sense that the Weaver would be following the Chen around, much like Riki and Bounty Hunters used to do.
Okay.
And then we're going to have the attacks speed slow of the Phoenix available if the Bloodseeker tries to get aggressive again. But Chu just pushes Vanscore back once
If
again.
you can land the Fire Spirits on a fast Bounty Hunter, dude.
That is true.
Good luck.
Let's try to...
Okay, so they're like
Hard to
swapping.
nail Sonic.
So they're putting Ursa up against the Bloodseeker now, which is obviously a smart matchup in the fact that if he comes up, you get a Fury Swipes, and then they're kind of just ganking wildly.
Yeah.
He looks pretty dead.
Might as well make a good gank of it before you switch up lanes. Crystallize is going to be caught here, slowed down a bit. Afterlife, a little bit closer for the call, does manage to get over the corner there, and that will be Crystallize dead as the Fire Spirits come out. Tick, tick, tick. It's going to be close. He did have a healing sound, but didn't really have a chance to pop it.
It was very well played by the Ursa. That he just had to keep his speed up.
What?
That way he could get the slow.
A Chen just killed a Weaver.
You know, sometimes it just happens. I don't know why. Oh, this is gonna be a close one.
Sineko must have made like a baller Centaur stun play on like bounty runes.
Oh, maybe like he used Sakuchi and he Centaur stunned him? or
Yeah,
something?
like he tried to
yeah,
go
I
for
can
the
see
bounty
that.
rune and Sineko predicted it.
He's
Had to
baiting
be
him.
something like that.
He's-
Afterlife will be able to get away with the healing sound, so.
Oh, is that what his name is supposed to be?
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay. Oh, okay. Maybe it's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
a
yeah.
different language kind of a thing here.
I have
I
no
don't-
idea why his name is like that.
I just ignored it. I was one of those like,
The Axe.
handle your name.
Blue person.
My caster privilege allows me to say this. And this is what you do when you're losing. You skip the creep wave. He's going to pull in the small camp though. This is a good way to get a little bit extra experience. And now I said this 2 casts ago, but fun fact, small camp's about 100 experience on average. That's a 1/4 of a level when you're level 1.
Yeah. Nice little extra boost for anybody who wants to get greedy and double their creep. He does not have a TP though. He is a brave man to do this without a TP when he's got like Jen and Bloodseeker and stuff.
But he does get a lot of camps though, which is always good.
Don't worry, I was just setting the
okay.
stage for it, you know.
You're right. There it is. No teleport.
But there is no level 6 just yet on Crystallize. Again, just a brave man running into a Chen though. He's going to be caught and snared up. And Crystallize is just balling out of control now. Like they are giving him way too much farm. Look at his CS. He's top of the board right now, 42 and 10. And then on top of that, he's picking up all these kills.
You know, this is like one of the problems to picking weird-ass supports like Weaver is in moments like this. It's like you don't have that many levels, and your levels don't really translate to anything just really safe and easy. You don't have a nuke stun that just guarantees kills. So Bloodseeker is like, he feels like Superman with treads right now. It's like if anybody's low at all, he's like, I can kill anybody. Nobody can stop me. What's the worst thing that happens to him? He gets axe called, or he gets a Fire Spirits, which makes some boo-boos and he can't attack very fast. Like, that's about it. Like, he has a free game right now, and Weaver's just struggling to do anything. Because now everybody's getting equal levels to him. He doesn't do that much damage. And his teammates are just dying. How does he stop this?
They're going to try and keep the Ursa down even further. Sineko rotating over. They do manage to get the telekinesis, pull back in. and a fast execution. I like your point about that Weaver, because then at this point, all it means is that they just have to make sure the Ursa doesn't really get out of control, right?
Yep.
It's like he's I would say, the primary playmaker. And
I mean, Lena's still farming very well. She's not near Bloodseeker status, but she's doing okay. 59 last hits. In the future, don't know what they are currently. Slightly above the BS.
EMP's going to go off. AFO. Taking a good amount of damage.
It's a bounty rune bot lane there, fighting heavily over those. This is definitely one thing I noticed when I watch pro games is like, I feel like nobody checks runes below like, I don't know, 5.5k MMR. Like, nobody's like, let me get that rune. That's really important. But pros, they fight over that shit every single time because they know it could be an invis rune that sets up a vision for a kill, or it could be a DD, or it could be something other impactful, like a haste or something, or even a regen that would keep Lena on the map instead of having to go back to heal. You know, so
especially considering how important like these laning phases are. The fact that pros are taking time to rotate out of like a side lane to go check a rune goes to show like how impactful those runes can be.
Yeah, absolutely. So X gonna play a little poverty here in that he's got his ring of health picked up. Still no teleport. Going to a Bloodseeker lane. Maybe Crystallize just teleported though. It's got to be very close to empty though. Oh, watch out, the Bugsy! All right, you actually
the bugs are dodged.
Literally useless support. All right, luckily Ursa is just strong enough with his Aquila that he could survive.
Oh, they do manage to grab Sinego here from Afterlife. Still trying to chase him down. Crystallize goes for the kill into the Ursa. Turns around. Chu can't quite get it. The Fate Bolt wasn't up for another 3 seconds. In fact, Chu's taking a lot of damage now from King R, but
I don't know if I'd say a lot. That's like, he's taking
a
decent amount of damage. It's like respectable. It's like, all right, I thought it was going to be way worse than that.
Yeah,
so the Ursa versus Bloodseeker, this is like the one really good thing they have going for them. Any other hero, that person dies. The Ursa, the guy who gets ruptured.
Yeah.
Like
go to bottom lane where Blizzy's being slowed down. Black Hole on 2, and Vanscore may just die to the Eidolons here as he can't really get away. They do manage to get the call though, still holding Blizzy in, and will get the kill. So they trade out supports, but at the top lane, they did kill both the Ursa and the Weaver. They went back in when Enrage was down.
Okay. Doesn't look like they ruptured for it either. Just a good fight. It's a great black hole there by the Inigo for sure. They're casting in front of himself, expecting it to catch the Axe behind him and prevent a disable. That was really good. Really nice play. But Axe just saying, all right, we got to kill. Grab the Vanguard now. I'm going to just tank in a lane and just constantly push it. And I'm going to force my opponents to react to me. That's one good way to limit pressure on your allies a little bit, is that NaVi also doesn't have that much damage on their side. Here's the top lane. Ursa just kind of dying. And then using Thirst, just easy vision on the Weaver.
Back over to Magical rotating up to the top lane. Looks like with the Chen push, they want to ensure this tower by getting the 2 support kills. Thanks in part to that double damage.
Was that like a cold snap? Got a ghost walk? No, he just like literally unghost walked it and just right clicked him until he died. I don't know. Maybe like the Weaver got ganked and he got forced towards the bounty rune or something.
Yeah, it could be.
Or maybe he fought for the bounty rune or I'm not sure.
I see what you're talking about
Black
these
chess
weird
piece.
shots.
Get ready for it, guys. Now, rather than see aspects of the game, it would be better for us to appreciate how beautiful this map is. And it is. It's beautiful. This is the Monkey King train. Oh, any chess pieces? See anything? I see a flag. Flag on the left. Flag on the right. Do we have a flag on the right? Where are we on the map? I'm not sure.
Kevin,
this is
you are way too hype about these chess pieces.
Bot bounty. I promise people chess pieces, dude. This is the hype.
What are those flowers? Are those lotus flowers?
I believe so. Oh, that's a monkey and a yes, possible stork. Heron?
Heron.
Are you a bird expert,
I believe
Rob?
it's a heron.
Rob, could you Google
heron?
Oh, there's another monkey.
Rob, why are you coming on the mic if you're not a bird expert? I thought you were going to
give the black chess piece. I saw it. It was all left. It's on left. Here comes another one. Left side. On your left, this is a black chess piece. This is the reverse of the flag. Oh, we didn't see that one. Blocked by a pillar. Ruined a perfect photographic moment.
Man, I want to hear Kevin, travel guide Kevin now.
Yeah, dude. Have him tour.
I think I know where I am now. That's the Roche Pit.
That's cool.
Roche Pit is actually, when you're on the ground level, it is in the middle of effing nowhere. You're like, oh, there's this giant-ass pit in the river, this big guy. How do you not see that from all angles, you know? Where's that door go?
It is kind of weird just to have a pit in the middle of a river. I'm pretty sure water would erode that whole entire area away over time, right? Man,
this is actually, it feels like I'm in nature right now. It's beautiful.
But
I I mean, I'm dicking around. I cannot imagine what the Russian casters are talking. If they're actually still trying to talk about Dota, I could not do it. It's like instantly, boom. I have, from a broadcast, I have no idea what's going on right now. And I've forgotten because it has literally been a minute and a half. I don't know. Beautiful moment. I hope it ceases in the future myself. Oh, there it is. There it is.
The black chess piece.
Black chess piece.
We've seen it. All right.
There are so many. How many monkeys?
Back into the game. A TP to bottom lane. It looks like we're going to have some action there. The axe is being gone on. I can see it on the map. Observer, please go to the bottom lane. His Afterlife has been caught by Magical. Finally, we're going to see it here. Tries to juke his way through the trees, but all the trees are now gone. He still is hitting a little spot. They're going to spot him out with the Eidolons now. Tornado is going to catch him as well, and he doesn't have Blink Dagger, so there's no way out anyway. Burns all his mana out, gets the second copse of trees here. Might be able to hide away, gets the extra armor, but it's not good enough. The magic damage and the urn aren't going to be enough to finish him off. King R tried to chase after that Enigma, but again, what does the support Weaver really do?
He has an urn. If one of his allies does the big boy thing and kills somebody, then he will contribute approximately what a regular support does at this point. Oh, he hit level 5. Watch out. Slightly smaller. 25 more Sakuchi damage, dude.
Do you think he's going to go like a fast Aghanim Scepter or something?
That would absolutely be a decent solution.
Magical going for the pick off here on Afo. Knows that with the Cold Snap, it's going to be a little hard to get the combo off, but he still managed to get the stun, turn around Tornado, and disengage. And again, Afterlife does not have a Blink Dagger, so he can play super aggressive like that and not have to be too scared.
I'm actually really surprised he was able to get the Lina stun off. I thought that was going to be
way
scarier for Lina, but
maybe he doesn't have high enough levels. It's just straight up Quas, right?
Yeah, he's got quite a few levels. Maybe just the
He went a lot of levels of Wex.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why.
I mean, he's got 4 Quas. It's plenty, and he had Urn. It's probably just like the pattern of the Cold Snap proccing when his attacks landed, when the Urn landed, just didn't line up perfect. And good for Lina to commit to that, because I definitely would have just tried running, thinking like, oh, I'm not going to be able to stun him, you know. But landing the stun actually set up a potential kill is good.
I love watching these Quas Wex invokers and the pressure they can put on the map is Magical from bottom lane. Now heads up to top lane. They're going to go for yet another gank on this Ursa. Popsy enraged, but doesn't really have a way out of here. They throw down the egg. Is trying to protect the egg as best as possible, but NaVi do manage to bring it down. Tornado up in the air, and Ursa will fall dead to the earth. Nice. Laguna Blade will actually pick up the Bloodseeker kill as well as the Invoker dying in the back line.
Lina owned that fight. The Dragon Slave came through pretty early. It was like a max distance, barely killed Invoker on the back line, and that basically guaranteed that they could potentially win the fight. And then the Laguna Blade as well. Like, actually, Lina is carrying his team so hard right now.
Yeah, he's the only one who had a decent laning phase, and now he's got to translate that into being able to create just tons of space for his team.
And he is, right? He's killed the Invoker. He assisted in killing the enemy Bloodseeker. That's really big plays now. Phase and Yule's on him. And the Phoenix's egg was also pretty good, considering that Vanscore is literally walking around with a Windlace. That was super. He did equal damage to Lina in that fight. I love that he did it right on top of the Ursa. That way Ursa could defend him while the Bloodseeker ran up. Still died, but did give them a good fight. So it was a nice Vanscore play. Yeah,
might make it a little hard. Maybe they accidentally right-click on the Ursa instead of the egg or something. Black Hole is available for the Enigma, but doesn't have the mana. He's got a Helmet Dominator coming up. Crystallize will finish off that tower. Did go for an early Yule's build rather than a right-click sort of S and Y build. Oh, a sneaky Roshan. Well, there's your combo right there, Kevin. We've got Swarm plus Ursa.
Yeah, okay. Who needs a medallion when you got a Blightstone in the bugs? That's a good point, actually. It actually definitely makes the Weaver a lot more valuable, because this is a fast one. He's got Brown Boots, Aquila Wand, and he took Roche. Normally it's like, I don't feel comfortable doing that unless I have like Mask of Death or something. But yeah. But I mean, the earlier you do it, it dies so much faster. It does so much less damage. So having the Weaver here definitely helps them get it done in a really early time, and not taking too many hero resources off the map, so it's not always as obvious.
The Enigma plus the Chen, a lot of pressure onto these towers, but fortunately they've got some pretty good defense in the Phoenix as well as the Axe, but Vanscore is going to get caught. They throw it on the Black Hole to make sure he can't dive or get the Supernova off. Now they're going to slow down Afterlife with the Cold Snap and the Urn, but there is going to be our Lina. She already TP'd in, she's just lurking in the trees a little bit farther south, but didn't pop out just yet. Is going to TP way into the mid lane, where it looks like they've actually caught Crystallize, who has a Yule Scepter though and will be able to defend himself, but King R is going to come in from the side. The support Weaver clinches the kill just in time.
That was actually huge, and now he picks up a medallion, so completely changes his damage output. Now 2 points in the swarm. So if he shows up to these kills, that's a lot of extra damage output and more things to be a problem. Like if they don't have invisibility or something, they're gonna have bugs and they're gonna be pressured.
Check out this mid lane Magical. Pushes them back with a tornado. Trying to keep his mid tower alive. Goes for the deny and barely gets it. Oof.
Felt like different pages there for the Weaver and the Lina slightly. Thought like, oh, we can just take this, right? But a big deny there by Invoker. That was huge. A fast blink here for Ursa. Skipped his phase boots. I don't think it's that bad when you're behind to do this in the right circumstances, because I mean the phase movement is really big when you're chasing people, and obviously you're attacking really fast, so 24 damage is really valuable. But I mean, really getting on top of people is most of it, and especially against a team like NaVi has, between like Bloodseeker, Chen, even Enigma to some extent, they can't defend themselves super easily if Ursa's on top of you, especially if he has friends. So I like the shaving of the item build to get him back in the game faster.
See, NaVi are rotating up here to try and catch ferzee while they take this tower. They're going to wrap in from behind with Crystallize, leading on the Rupture onto the Ursa, just making sure he can't blink anywhere, can't get on top of anybody. Magical's going to come in and just keep him stunned up. And Vanscore pops out of the trees, does manage to get a really good Supernova out, but Magical wasn't hit by the slow. Looks like they should be able to kill the egg, and now turn their attention back towards the Ursa, who's come back up. Second life, does he have the Enrage? Seneco's going to die to King R, does manage to pick up that with the Urn. Daxing trying to run away, but telekinesis brought back. The Swarm's going to come in. Afo, he's being blocked up by the creeps. He needs to be able to get into this fight. Does manage to get the Yule Scepter off, but thanks to that Shikuchi steal, is able to get away. Just stay one step ahead of King R at all times. Magical turns, fights, does manage to bring down the Ursa with the help of Crystallize. Actually, Afterlife getting the call onto him, almost bringing Crystallize down. Fortunately, there is going to be Blizzy with the Malefice slowing him down. And in the end, NaVi are able to walk that off. A good fight for them. Seeing as it was into an Aegis, they still managed to bring down the Ursa.
Yeah, pretty good egg. It's very easy for NaVi to take care of it. They maybe don't have the most damage, but they have a lot of heroes that can right-click with good ranged attacks, so very easy to clean that up. Ursa didn't want to pop his ulti early, wanted to let the Aegis go away and then use his skills for the right stuff, but he didn't get his blink out after he respawned, so it just kind of became still a struggle on the way to get out of that fight.
Shadowblade pickup from the Lina. It's pretty typical, Shadowblade Yules and everything, but I can't help but feeling like NaVi, they're just playing such a 5-man style, you know? I'm not sure how many pickoffs he's going to be able to get with that Shadowblade.
I mean, he's been playing well so far, so I could definitely see him setting up and getting a kill in the mid lane any moment here.
He heads towards the mid lane with that Shadowblade, is going to be able to get the pick off on the Invoker.
Well, we didn't know that was going to happen, but good thing we didn't see it. Makes us look better. Oh, they're going to initiate on the Enigma. I actually like putting the bugs on him. It's a hero that has to care so much about positioning.
Oh.
Things are kind of weird for NaVi's heroes, right? I feel like if they get caught, they're just dead instantly. It's like that same like can't protect themselves thing.
Yeah.
The Rubik did a really good job staying survivable in the previous fight, at least, but he does pick up the experience talent on Weaver on 10. I think that makes perfect sense from a support perspective. There's no way you want to pass up those extra levels. Let's also talk about his current item build that we now can't talk about. That was mostly a rip. It's fine, though. He's gone Brown Boots Medallion with an Urn. That's 2 different ways to get some mana regen into his bloodstream. Not much int, but now he's queuing up an Axe as well, which will be very useful to keep heroes like Lina alive. That's like one of the things I don't like about Lina late game. It's like so susceptible to getting killed, like 1 Hex, one like Abyssal Blade. It feels like he just dies instantly. So having Axe on Weaver will be a good solution to that.
Part of the problem, I think, for the fact that NaVi, it seems like they picked up early momentum off the laning phase and then it just has completely gone away. I think Blizzy is really underfarmed for where he was as the Enigma. He had the Helmet Dominator, and since then, he's just picked up a Soul Ring and has some gold in the bank, but I feel like you should have one of those teamfight items. I don't know what the item should be. I don't know if it's a Fast Blink or a Mech or Vanguard into Crimson Guard or something like that, but...
I mean, I could minimum argue that having Arcane and Soul Ring isn't always needed. It's a little overkill, I think, item-wise. But, I mean, he's slightly behind the Axe and Net Worth. He's slightly behind the Invoker. I mean, maybe that's one of the criticisms, that Invoker is 5-2 and 0 is doing great, but I mean, in this playstyle, you're not going to accelerate into farm ever because you're not buying a Midas. You don't have that many Exort levels. So yeah, you're limited on items. So in that way, they're kind of all in on their Bloodseeker. And considering Bloodseeker is only barely matching the Lina, that he was forced to go Yules on Bloodseeker, it's not in the best place right now.
Basher is almost up for our Ursa.
Oh, wow.
That is surprising.
That's
that is really important,
scary.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. Bloodseeker did go the armor talent, at least, and health. So he's actually quite survivable, despite, and just about to finish his Black King bar as well. So he's got some solutions against the Ursa, at least.
Going to see the two of them at that secret shot. Start heading over to the Ursa. See if he can blink out fast enough. No. Cold Snap first. Rupture afterwards. Now he pops in range, gets a little bit closer to the tier 2, tries to hide in the trees. His teammates are coming in. Afterlife is going to be able to get the 2-man call. A magical and a 2. That's a big time pickup, but he doesn't have an Ursa, and now the damage is all gone. King R tries to come in, but again, the support Weaver does little to threaten the entire team of NaVi, and it's just a Bloodseeker show.
Yeah, it's
that one.
It's one of those moments where both teams are pretty on top of things. They're setting up ganks, and at the same time as the Ursa gets gone on, he didn't get backed out much, and that's because they were diving on the Enigma. They did eventually kill the Enigma, but it took some doing. And they're going to pressure the tier 2, but that's about it. Not a good trade there for them. They lost their tier 2. They lost their Ursa once again. It's 1-5 and 4. Still farming well, but Boise getting pressured.
Magical, not going to hit the tornado. Afo will be able to get away. Saw the Rubik stole Shikuchi. So that is another problem for this Lina and the split pushing aspect, right? You never know when that the support Rubik's going to pop out of invis.
That's true.
And just lead with a telekinesis.
Queuing up his own Black King bar here. Maybe not the item that will solve all problems, but at least he doesn't have to worry about Cold Snap or EMP, for example. Still has to worry about Black Hole Rupture. Lots of problems, but as long as he plays right and his allies going to cover him first, creating space, I think it'll be fine.
King Har has a surprising amount of farm for the support. Or maybe it's just because he doesn't need upgraded boots. Maybe that's the thing. Because his net worth actually isn't that high.
It's still 1,000 over Rubik's, which is kind of surprising because I feel like Rubik has been playing better. 3, 1, and 8. On paper, Weaver just has a lot of items.
Just like that, Shikuchi finds Afterlife as he was going for that 20-minute rune. 22-minute rune, rather.
Man, that was so much damage. So I don't know. He's just ahead of the Rubik by a modern amount. I'm not quite sure what it is. They're about equal on towers. Maybe they got more bounty runes. Maybe he's killed the right people or something. But yeah, just a lot of items. Probably more last hits by a little.
Even more golds now for NaVi, so they should be able to take this mid-tier 1 tower. Ferzee can't really fight with their axe. Currently dead.
Spider Courier on the way. We can tell it's a Spider Courier. Don't know what was in the inventory.
Yasha for the Bloodseeker, and then it had an Ogre Club for something. Vanskar got caught.
Looks like he's queuing up SNY, which is pretty good. I think I like that. I mean, more movement speed. There are like limited disables here. Like movement speed alone should be able to buy him survivability, especially paired with the BKB. So get away from the Ursa, bash the maim the Ursa to lower his movement speed. Things like that I think are worthwhile here.
I would have really liked Halberd just against the Ursa.
Okay. That's fair. It's just he's going to get so much faster with SNY though.
Yeah.
Like he's actually such a scary threat against Lina with SNY versus Halberd. I think is maybe the big difference maker. Like if she uses BKB and he's got SNY and he's already fast, like she's actually going to die in like 5 hits or something.
Right.
But yeah, against Ursa, it's absolutely better. She's just finishing her BKB now. Have you ever seen somebody get the 25-second Fury Swipes reset time?
No.
The only hero I can think it's kind of good on is maybe like a PL or something. So like for the whole fight, you know which one's real. Or maybe like that talent would be, I don't know. It's that one. It's got to go.
It would be.
Fire that talent.
I think it would be more viable if Fury Swipes didn't already have such a dramatically long reset time.
20?
It's 20 seconds.
Yeah.
I know, because you play like offlane against these Ursas and they hit you once and you're just like, they hit you like 3 times, say. And then you're just like, well, I'm out of lane for 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, what?
It's pretty impressive.
Oh, this is a big smoke.
Do they
Ferzee.
have They do. They have wards everywhere in the enemy jungle. Great
Chew.
lift.
He got the telekinesis before the blink out from Afterlife, and that completely spoils the smoke there from ferzee.
Yeah. It seemed like they weren't super comfortable fighting there for a good reason. I mean, they'd be going high ground. They'd be running through a river choke point. And in the meantime, Weaver was bottom, trying to finish his Ags. I think completely reasonable. Don't necessarily need to take a fight. Get that guy Ags, then start fighting like crazy, because then you're going to have time lapse on a 16-second cooldown on an invisible guy. That sounds really impactful. Although, he's going to get spotted by Invoker. Good time lapse and escape.
I think that's why the best teams, though, when they make that kind of smoke play, they don't go up into that high ground, you know? Like, I think all the other teams would have ran, like, north of the Roshan pit and wrapped around. So they hold that high ground area, you know, they can wrap in at kind of a similar level. I feel like that was sort of like almost an amateurish mistake there from ferzee, just trying to straight up smoke. I mean, at least they didn't execute it, right? At least they didn't go into that high ground, but...
I mean, they had so many wards in the area. One of them did get dewarded, but they had like full vision of the enemy team. So maybe they just saw like a guy. They were like, oh yeah, we can definitely jump and kill that guy, and then all of a sudden more showed up or something. Could have been something like that.
They do have a lot of really good aggressive visions. Even still, they've got one by that mid-tier 2 and then one behind the top tier 2. So I'm believing that's King R. I'm presuming with his Weaver, he's been laying down the wards. It's been some good work from him. The Blade Mail now for the Axe is really going to help. If they can get the initiation, that's why ferzee just keeps on going for it. They're going to smoke once again.
Well, that one was a mistake, though, because they had a ward vision. So they saw the illusion spawn, and then they know, well, there's some weird shit going on. You know, I was also thinking the, I don't know if a fight's going to happen, because we can't see the dire team now, but Weaver went for mana break at 15. I actually think this is a game to get Sakuchi damage. I don't think I ever get that talent, but I think this game, if you're support and you're like split pushing like this, just increase your Sakuchi damage by 75. I feel like that might be better. Maybe a minor criticism, but I feel like it might be better. Worse for killing heroes, I guess. Better for pushing waves.
ferzee swipe through. They do get yet another ward down inside that jungle area. They're going to try and take Roshan here, knowing that they should have a pretty good alarm once NaVi shows up, and sure enough, NaVi is here. Tornado's going to come out first inside that Roshan pit. Does manage to get the Roshan kill first, and now NaVi's got to get out of here, but Afterlife makes the initiation in the back line. Managed to grab 2 of the cores. Vance Core comes in, drops that Supernova, but Crystallize isn't slowed down. He immediately turns and kills Diego with the BKB activated, and now goes back to Afterlife. And Afterlife, oh no, Blizzy! No. He stopped his own black hole with the Ghoul Scepter going out from Afo. Seneco's going to be chased down by Battle Hunger. They got the Ghoul Scepter as well onto Magical. That is such a huge kill, and they will be able to get it. That's 3 dead on the side of NaVi. What a disaster there as NaVi tried to scramble into the Roshan pit, and they're not fast enough. And even worse, get caught in a bad fight afterwards.
That was just great axe positioning. He way ahead of time set up. They had still had great ward vision, watching the approaches, so he's hiding in the trees. He almost got spotted by the Krieger accidentally, but did not. Was able to get a great 2-man call. And then it looked like NaVi was going to win the fight to me. The egg dies, but then they're kind of like, all right, we need it back. But that's one of the NaVi's issues right now, and maybe a Chen issue as well. It's kind of hard to disengage from the fight. Like, once you're in, you can't really get out super fast. And they were forced into a black hole that looked kind of good, was going to probably catch 2 heroes. Just complete whiff. 10-second BKB, black holes on cooldown. They lost Aegis. I don't even think they killed Aegis. Just really rough fight there for NaVi.
Now ferzee up by 3K, and a lineup that I'm not sure if it outscales. Crystallize going to be caught here by Afterlife. Another pick off to the favor of ferzee. They are really getting ahead in this game now.
That's the hero that can't die. The most farmed hero on NaVi's side, the one that's most likely to carry the game. If he keeps going down like that, I don't know if he's going to carry the game.
Ursa Bear trolling around looking for those free pickoffs. Ward laid down by Seneco, but Ursa spotted him, and so did Afo, who hits the LSA. Claims the kill. Now it looks like it should just be an easy push. Maybe for tier 2. Oh, they've got no creeps.
You know, one thing that's interesting about this game, they have been putting tons of wards in the enemy jungle, but I feel like the average Dire team just wouldn't play in the Dire jungle that much.
Yeah.
Is that the wrong thing here? I mean, it's definitely easier to contest Roshan if they're defending their tier 2s and all, but I feel like I've been seeing a lot of heroes dying. They're like trying really hard to control their jungle this game. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. Like, NaVi should be playing a lot more into that Radiant jungle, maybe in part because they have, like, besides your average core utilizing jungle, they also have Chen and Enigma. who obviously play off of jungle quite a bit.
But maybe it's because of their heroes that like they're not individually very survivable, so they can't really split push anyways with what they have. So they're like, well, we need to control. We actually just need to fight here because that's why we picked Enigma. Like we need to be able to know that we can just win a fight for sure at least once because they can't break Black Hole. They actually can't cancel it, so they should be able to win a fight, and they just haven't been able to yet.
Let's see that pick off in top lane that didn't show. Looks like they just found the Enigma while he's trying to split push.
Very tough game right now. And now NaVi kind of splitting the map a little bit, pushing out bottom, maybe going towards more of a standard play style. But Weaver's 1,500 gold past his eggs now. Just going to be better at killing and team fighting.
I mean, just think how fearlessly you can play as like an Axe or an Ursa. Yeah. When you already are supposed to just head on to the enemy and that you know somewhere in the back, you've got a Weaver who can just time-lapse you.
Yeah, positioning and survivability and break your stuns or whatever you have on you. It's actually such a good Axe ability from a support perspective. Even sometimes when I play Core Weaver, I just feel like it's hard to not take it.
Yeah.
And I often lose those games, but it's still, because then they just kill me, you know. But still, 16-second cooldown, save an ally at a crucial moment, that can be huge.
When you've got, especially when you're like not the only carry in the game.
Yeah. You've
got like 2 other cores, especially right now, right? Feels like the 1, 2, and 3 position all are kind of muddled. You know, I feel like there's not a clear definition between them oftentimes.
Except for in my pubs, and it's like a troll warlord, a juggernaut, and like some other guy that needs to hit creeps, and I'm like,
well,
okay.
It's still
then
muddled. That just means they're all 1 position.
That's true. That's true.
Lotus Orb soon for Vanscore on that Phoenix. He's got a big problem with the cold snap and then maybe some of the silences. So.
Okay, yeah, Blood Rage, I suppose. They could do, like, Lift into Silence. It feels like his eggs have just been a little... I don't know if he's, like, thinking, like, it's better for me to be focused and die than it is for me to, like, play a defensive egg or something. But I feel like maybe slightly more egg impact could be good. But in the same vein, it's like he's wasting, like... That's, like, what, 4 seconds of BKB on Bloodseeker?
Yeah.
Every time? That's a pretty damn good trade if you think about it, even if you're dying for it. And in that way... maybe his eggs have been more than fine.
And all the early fights were like really weirdly chaotic, right? Like all the positioning of the heroes aren't like just straight in front of you or something, so he's had a hard time landing.
That's a nice
like,
wall.
That is a nice wall.
Ursa's very close to BKB, I believe. Oh, I'm sorry, no, I'm way off. He's got BKB, 10 seconds, 2,000 gold past that. Somebody else was very close. That was Axe. I was just picking up his BKB now. Very farmed heroes, and once they get magic immunity, honestly, what does NaVi do? That's like the invoker counter.
Yeah.
Just jump in the fight, and he's like, "Well, I'm stuck. I can't actually do anything."
Smoked up. Sineko. Oh, Black Hole in the bottom lane. That's going to be a big pick-off on Afo. They had to blow a lot for it, though, with Black Hole BKB combination being used. Meanwhile, mid lane looks like Sineko got spotted by that Ursa. Immediately jumps him. That's going to be Rupture. I'm not sure where it's going to be at. The silence goes down. Looks like our Phoenix is prepping out for an egg soon. Vanscore pops at the last second. Crystallize pops BKB, but there's Afterlife to be able to intercept. And with the bash coming out from the Ursa. But look at the side. He actually stole the attack speed. He stole overpower on Rubik, and that's how he killed the egg.
He got that in mid lane, too. I saw him take it, and I was like, he's going to use that to hit creeps, but it ends up being really useful. But either way, huge blink call from the Axe, which forced the over-commitment from NaVi either way. They still lose 3 heroes, but considering that Lina was dead that entire fight,
yeah,
that was really good. Really, really good by Team Chess.
I mean, it goes to show, like, without the threat of Black Hole, and them having the magic immunity, like, they can't do anything. Against this Ursa and Axe just kind of like going onto you.
Yeah, and Ursa finally got to play Dota, like not ruptured. Well, like he was ruptured. He just shrugged it off while his teammates were busy dying, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And then got into the fight, shredded that Bloodseeker.
Were you laughing about the phrase "thread with Black Hole"?
Yes.
I hate that phrase too. I hate that phrase too. I can't believe it just came out of my mouth. But it was a more active threat, you know. Yeah. Like normally it's like. We're going to go, Nurse is going to go on somebody, he's going to get Black Hole, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it was completely reasonable for him to BKB. Actually, is it? Do they actually have... Is Lina the only range stun I think he is. I think it was actually.
Yes.
He actually, if he black holes Lina, he actually does not need. Unless Lina's like casting Light Strike Array and melee range, and like you're like, well, I'm gonna cast Black Hole for like a quarter of a second. I'm gonna get stunned or something. Maybe a waste, but
I think there's you have to be a god at it. But I think Axe can blink just far enough behind the Enigma that he can hit the call but not get caught in Black Hole. But I think the positioning is incredibly precise, and it still wouldn't matter.
Call radius is 300. Black Hole, a radius is naturally 420, and you can cast it farther ahead of you. It kind of depends if he casts it far in front of him or like right in front of him. I guess they're probably right in front of him. I doubt that. Because technically you could put it literally slightly in front of the center of your circle, I'm guessing, on Enigma, meaning that like there's no way that call could hit you. So it just depends like if he casts it from max range or not.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Aether Lens Enigma, is that the new thing maybe? Who buys Blink anymore, dudes? Just cast Black Hole from like 400 units away. That sounds fun, actually.
Refresher up next for him with the level 20 talent coming in, the big 500 health, or Eidolon damage. You might be getting a little desperate and going like, man, this game is looking a little rough for us. Maybe I should get the Eidolon damage, try and split push.
I wasn't sure which one you would say is desperate. The Eidolon damage is kind of incredible. I mean, there is an Axe, which you can't deal with super well, but he's still got Helm of the Dominator. It's not like these Eidolons hit for little P's or anything. 70 damage is a stupid amount, but he also really needs 500 health.
Especially since most Enigmas go the extra Eidolons for the 25 talent.
Yeah.
I think that's like, you have to make that decision now, right? It's like, if I'm going to go that, then the Eidolon damage is definitely worth.
I mean, this Malphus one has been buffed so many times now. It's +5. Against like an Ursa or something, that's incredible. Once his BKB's down and he's used in Rage, that's like the hero to cast it on.
8 instances of damage?
Yeah. Like,
there are stuns?
That's like 90 damage per one. It's like Malphus becomes a nuke, basically. Like,
I'm actually a little bit surprised. Ursa's going Nullify, which is super good in this game. I was just thinking whether or not Ags is any good for him.
There's just not enough disables. I mean, lower cooldown is kind of cool, but...
After, it looks like they're going to go for a smoke up here on ferzee, behind the Ursa. An Afterlife. Spawns out Blizzy, will be able to get the call. Affo follows up with the LSA, looking to be able to take out that big team fighter immediately. Vanscore's going to jump forward. They spot out Chu as well. Self-Yules to try and buy himself a little bit of time, but he's not making it out alive. That's 2 dead on the side of NaVi, with ferzee marching straight up that high ground.
They couldn't have found a better hero there. Like, that's the one hero that like makes team fighting really, really hard outside of Invoker, but they've got BKBs for that. So instant call, instant stun follow-up guarantees a kill. And then the Daedalus from Lina just really making a big difference. Man, they can't even get close to slowing her down. It feels like Navi's lineup was supposed to win, at least pressure more earlier. And I really thought this Weaver was not going to impact much, but they actually just like, the Radiant team just like sat back and just like kept hitting creeps. Like anytime somebody died, they always got a decent trade out of it.
Yeah.
So Aegis, Cheese, and a Refresher now.
Who do you give the Refresher shard to?
Definitely not Vanscore. He's fucking dying in egg.
That man, poor Vanscar. Has he gotten a single egg off?
I don't think it's. I haven't seen it explode yet. No.
Even in that fight that they won, the overpower Rubik killed it.
But genuinely, like, even though every egg has been a failure, I actually think his eggs have been really good this game.
Yes.
It's like, for a 0% success rate, amazing eggs. I like by far the most effective 0% I've ever seen.
He's always had like very good positioning before the eggs, right? Where he has realized what hero is most likely going to be gone on, and he's just kind of like sitting behind them the entire time, hidden in the trees.
Yeah, he's been able to make choices that are best, basically for the team fight. Bloodseeker picking up a butterfly, actually. I like this. Yeah. It's not common on the hero very much, but against an Ursa, he's going to have a lot of evasion. He's going to have way more armor. He's going to attack faster. That's good against almost everybody he's playing against.
I will say one thing that I don't like about the evasion item in general is that if you miss your overpower swipes, it doesn't go away, right? So he just keeps on swinging.
Yep, that's true.
It feels like it doesn't mitigate that much damage, specifically against overpower. But
I would argue that when somebody uses Enrage, every miss that he misses is huge.
Ah, that's true.
Because that's like a 2 times Fury Swipes multiplier. So instead of swiping for 46 or like 92, he's swiping for 0, you know, on those misses.
Yeah.
So and then eventually that'll run out. So and also it's going to make his HP just be so much go so much longer. Like BKB is making him survival, but even like Lina, actually against Lina, Butterfly's amazing too.
Yeah.
He went Daedalus, perfect. Like it's good against Ursa, not amazing, but against the Lina with Daedalus as well, it's actually amazing. I think in that way, really good item choice this game by Crystallize.
So is NaVi, is the only way they're going to win a fight is just Black Hole Cataclysm? It feels like it's getting to that point where they just have to get a good Black Hole.
Yeah, me too. But it feels difficult. Their enemies are more evasive. They have to worry about running into like Weavers that can Sakuchi, Phoenixes that can dive. It's like everybody on the raiding team is so mobile, and Navi's heroes are not. They don't have that many. They've got Blink Daggers and stuff, but again, Chen immobile, Invoker is running around maybe Invis. Like it's very hard for them to like. They don't have chain stuns either. Like, but whereas on the raiding team, it's so easy. Blink call into any stun, guy's dead every time. Ursa can find one hero, solo kill him. Absolutely. What does Navi do solo kill wise? They can't kill any hero in the game by themselves solo, except for maybe like Enigma doing a Midnight Black Hole with some Eidolons on a support or something. I don't know. It's like every single thing that Navi wants to do takes 2, and that always puts you in such a big deficit. Just gotta like pick those core heroes that are like survivable and can push lane solo, but also solo pick off. It just gives you so many more options.
With the gem on King R, NaVi is going to have to make a lot of dangerous split push plays without a whole lot of vision on the map. Fortunately, they've got 2 decent wards right now. See how long they last against that gem. They're just holding the high ground, waiting for ferzee. Try and go for a second lane of Rax and make some sort of mistake. But it seems like ferzee is not super incentivized to try and make that push. So instead, NaVi's going to go for a smoke up without Blizzy, though.
Oh, he TP'd. He's coming.
He's on his way, but he's going to be a little bit slow. Apo, they are going to be able to pick him off almost immediately. That is going to be the Aegis down with a call coming out from Afterlife onto Crystallize. He's down to half HP with Alina coming back up. Crystallize already dead. Afterlife pretty much solo killed him. Blizzy misses out on that black hole, and now he gets stunned up as well. Oh no, it's a disaster as once again Blizzy is not able to get the black hole to win the fight, and now NaVi just call it. They're done. Blizzy's getting fired after this.
Oh man, dude. Vanscore eggs was definitely that. I totally forgot about egg stun going, like being oh yeah, I'm gonna use egg to break black hole BKB. Who does that, dude? He was just like, fight starts, drop the egg, and it was just perfect.
Yeah.
And he still Yule's dodged the black hole for the. I was like, oh man, that sucks. But I was like, but it's okay. He'll get him at the end, right? Instantly stunned. Literally did no damage. I was like, man, ferzee just knew what to do that game against NaVi's lineup.
Yeah, they really did as a whole. I think Vanscore, that was the first successful egg, and it was probably the most exciting, just because it canceled the black hole. I mean, to have the realization of like they're gonna try and kill my Lina twice, right? Like why wouldn't they? So I'll just egg as he's still dead, just to be able to protect him as he comes back alive.
And it was a much more defensive position. Like, it's super easy in that circumstance. I don't know if he was standing by, like, Ancients, but it is so easy to not realize there's an egg going on when they put it in a really defensive place like that, and to make mistakes like the Enigma did, where you're like, okay, here we go, going in, and then you just don't notice the little buff icon, or maybe, like, you can see it, but you're not quite. It's super easy to mistake that. And they tried to kill the Lina, but they got her Aegis, but that was it. Like, she actually got Invincible, too. AC at the end of the game. AC Daedalus. Like, yeah, they knew what NaVi was up against, what kind of damage they had, and there just wasn't that much at all.
Yeah, NaVi was up by 2-3K at some point, around 15, 18 minutes, but they just seemed to let the game slip out of their hands. They couldn't really. It seemed like the one of the big things I noticed is the like Chen Enigma. Like you're supposed to have a lot of pushing power. You're supposed to be able to take these, but they actually only took some side lane towers, and that's pretty much it. So.
And they went for like rupture kills and stuff, and they kind of worked, but they always took like a really long time to get the kills. Like it was like they had to commit tons of resources. The Ursa just played it out correctly, and yeah, they were like doing crazy stuff with the root, but it's like they just didn't. they just needed some more oomph in their lineup, is what it felt like. They needed like a support other than Chen that does some really good damage, or they needed like a mid that's like Lina-like rather than Invoker maybe, or like instead of an Enigma have like, I don't know, a Centaur or something. They needed some more oomph in there, and it was not Black Hole. It just was too hard to play around it.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be it for game number 1 of ferzee versus Magical. That is very loud.
Fuck talking.
We'll be back with game 2 of ferzee versus NaVi after a few minutes.